So this is another OSW playlist, slightly less gonzo this time, although you can't see it, you can see my voice. This is my voice on TV. Alright, so we have a new Marantz sound shield that looks a bit like this, and I'm getting too close to it because my back is against the spare bed that's in my apartment. Alright, and as you can see, this is a difference with my voice. If I take it out like this, you can kind of hear the echo in my voice, but I found if I just put a pillow above it as well, I think it sounds much more, I don't know, radio friendly. Alright, let's do it. OSW playlist number 4! Hello and welcome to episode 4 of OSW Playlist, a Nugger U exclusive roundup of what your boy Jay Hunter has been playing or watching over the last month. It'll be more of a string of consciousness with looser editing, the deal being that I have to get the video recorded, edited and uploaded all in one day so it doesn't interfere with OSW scheduling. It's supposed to be 10-15 minutes long, but we'll see when we finish. So let's get to it. First up is Parks and Recreation, NBC ensemble workplace sitcom that ran for 7 seasons from 2009 to 2015. The protagonist is Amy Poehler from SNL, the perky, dogged, highly moral Parks Department manager in the fictional town of Pawnee, Indiana. I've never seen the series before, so here are my thoughts as I watched all 125 episodes. This will have some spoilers. I'm going to highly recommend it if you want to stop tape and binge watch it instead.
I just gotta be honest, I don't know what the big deal is.
Get out.
Season 1 is like a pilot season, 6 episodes. The rest are at least double in length. Most of them are 22-24 episodes long. And then the final season is half length at 13. They're about half an hour each. Watching the show, it's quick-witted, character-based jokes and situations, absolutely clean and positive. Must have swept the Emmys numerous times. No, actually, 16 nominations and no wins, but it got a Golden Globe. Absolutely shocked. It's mockumentary style, like The Office. It was actually supposed to be a direct spin-off. The Parks and Rec creators, Greg Daniels and Michael Schur, they were EPs on the US office, but they rejiggered it into its own show. With the mockumentary format, it's perfect. You still get to see what happens and the individual characters' reactions to it too, in a quick kind of confessional to the camera. It's best of both worlds. It's cool when bit part characters get a confessional, like the reporter gets one line once and she says, "I couldn't even land the shoe shine guy." In earlier seasons, they have these quick cut best of kind of riffing moments where it looks like the actors just list off as many funny things as they can and the best things make it in.
This guy has some of the best investment ideas I've ever heard in my life.
Make a baby tuxedo clothing line. A department store with a guest list. White fur earmuffs for men. A new brand of bottled water called H2Ho.
So here are my thoughts kind of as going through the seasons. It's very interesting to see who they choose to make main characters. Like Anne is this nurse who speaks out at a town meeting and Leslie pledges to help her with the big hall next to her house. But she sticks around, hanging around at the Parks Department, and she's mates with Leslie and is a main character. It's very odd. Her boyfriend Andy is a side character, that's Chris Pratt, and quickly promoted to the main cast because he's friggin' hilarious. For me, easily the best part of the show. He plays Anne's unemployed loser boyfriend. He's very positive and excitable, a good guy moocher, and he's just a big kid. Like, his joke to laugh ratio, unparalleled. He ends up living in the hole beside Anne to protect her after they break up, and he's like, "I have to live here because there's a lot of crazies out there." Anne's probably funniest lines is she likens him to a gopher. Everything to do with his band Mouse Rat is gold. Plus he does his best Eddie Vedder Pearl Jam voice when he sings. Money. They keep finding ways to keep him on screen by getting him work at the Parks Department, like shining shoes, and eventually an office job. His excitability is so funny. Like when they have an intervention for Ron, and Ron's made an intervention tape just specifically for this if he gets back with his ex-wife. And he's so amazed to see Ron in the room and on the TV as well. Amazing.
It's the capital of the entire world. They have things there like this White House and this mental institution.
Aziz Ansari, he's also amazing as Tom, lovable and charming in that kind of failure ladies man shtick. He has a ton of confessionals and they always get a laugh. It's like the fourth floor. It's a bad place. I saw someone buy crystal meth out of a vending machine. I've been to the Glitter Club a million times. That's a stripper club. That girl up there is my emergency contact. He gives out keys to his place. He had over 50 made, but no girl has ever shown up. But he has been robbed twice. Tom's a waterfall of fresh business ideas, which means he's always pitching fun things and bringing in swag to the office. I love his best bud and business partner, John Ralphio. He got a court settlement and they go into business together. They get a crystal toilet filled with money because they're flush with cash. It's amazing. My favourite bit is John Ralphio. He tries to score a job at the accounting firm with Barney. Like he does a walk and talk West Wing thing and he just gets fired and he just keeps walking out the door. It's amazing.
Is this the new temp who's supposed to help me with the spreadsheets?
I want to talk about spreading in sheets. We can go back to my place and I will rock your...
You're fired! That makes sense. So I just go out the same way I came in?
Even though I've never seen this show before, I knew Ron Swanson, a gruff but honest and lovable man's man who values his privacy and quiet and hates the government despite working in it. Fantastic character, geez, never get enough of him. Playing off the real-life financial crisis in 2007, the Pawnee government shuts down and Ron is so happy that he brought penance to the budget cuts meeting. It says like slash it on it. Brilliant. I think it's cool that the actor actually plays the saxophone and does woodwork as a hobby, so his character does too. My favourite Ron bit in the series is when Chris installs a circular desk in the middle of the room and schedules the public to talk to him. He's a very private guy and hates talking to people, so it's the opposite of what he wants. And one woman tries to talk to him and he keeps kind of turning away from her with the chair and she kind of chases around him. Oh, just incredible stuff.
There's a sign at Ramsett Park that says, "Do not drink the sprinkler water," so I made sun tea with it, and now I have an infection. Sir? Sir, are you listening to me, sir? Sir, I'm talking to you! Sir!
Season 1 definitely testing the waters and seeing what works. Season 2 finds its feet. Season 3 has the well-loved main cast. Season 4 onwards, everything gets very smushy. Lots of heartwarming moments as they come together as a family. I have to say, this is a very stereotypical corporate America view of family life, in that everyone hates their actual family and doesn't want to talk to them. And most have moved away to a different city. But that's okay, because your work colleagues become your new family and everyone starts to pair up. So the show becomes either relationship talk or why am I single talk. Your new family. I've never seen so much gift giving in my entire life, mostly by Leslie. Anytime there's a job well done, which is almost every episode, she'll hand out presents. Could be heartfelt binders or scrapbooks or extravagant gifts like giving Tom a smoking jacket, fancy chair and cigar.
I do not like this.
I wondered how much Leslie spends on this stuff, and actually in season 7 she admits to over 125,000 over the last 15 years on banners alone. Or on Valentine's Day she wins by getting Ben the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, which I marked out really hard to.
Leslie, when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Who are you?
Our starship is in trouble.
Okay, Leslie, listen, if you don't know what you're talking about.
So I'll just go through my quick thoughts on the rest of the characters. Aubrey Plaza as April. Holy shit, she is all kinds of gorgeous. It's hilarious that her character is a deadpan 15-year-old goth. It's like, that's lame. Everything's lame. But she looks like a regular pretty 20-something-year-old. Low energy and cynical. She's the opposite of Leslie. Anne Rashida Jones, daughter of Quincy Jones, is pretty and kind, but not funny and not interesting as a character. They actually turn it into a storyline in season 5 where Leslie points out that she adopts styles from whichever guy she's dating, and we get to see all the stuff during the garage sale. Jerry is a great example of how you can affectionately tease and have like a Meg character without being vicious about it. He's the kind, meek office klutz. It's like, Jerry, you're capable of so much more. I'm not. I love how they write his backstory. He'd be the only one which actually has a happy family. Like his wife is beautiful and his kids love him and stuff like that. Like, although they're quite mean to him, they book him the opposite in the final season. It's a lovely end to his character. Donna, I didn't warm to, as her gimmick is hinting at a mysterious, glamorous life outside the parks department. Like, her engagement with any hijinks is mostly limited to, you can use my Mercedes. To me, she comes off a bit standoffish. They even turned it into a storyline with April, who gets what type of dog she'd be really wrong, that we don't really know anything about her. But she's still cool. And I like her shtick, the treat yourself shtick with Tom. The treat yourself is when they spend one day a year going out and pamper themselves and buy whatever they want. It's pretty cool.
Treat yourself.
The only one I'm not on board with is Mark Brandanowitz, the town planner guy that slept with Leslie 5 years ago, and he seems like a bit of an awkward creeper. Like, he only came onto Leslie when he was the seventh wheel on a night out and hit on Anne at Chris's gig just feet away from him. I think the show books him as charming, but I'm constantly suspicious of him. The writing's on the wall near the end of season 2 when they bring in 2 new guys and you can immediately tell they're cast regulars, Rob Lowe, that's Chris, and Adam Scott as Ben, and that someone's for the freaking chop. Season 2 finale, Mark seems to be aware of this ill fit and leaves and is never seen again. Initially, Chris's source of humour is being obsessive about fitness, but the writing staff started turning him towards desperately lonely jokes. I'm glad Chris got out before the end. Like that, it was just going to get worse and worse. Lowe's presence is filled by a whopping homosexual Craig. His constant passionate outbursts are so funny. It's like he's doing an impression of Buster from Arrested Development. He's trying to kill baby Buster.
I want Kentucky Bluegrass, I want a 10% discount, and I want you to apologize to my best friend Donna!
They're trying to kill baby Buster. Oh, that's right, from the videos.
Ben's nerdiness comes up as a source of jokes, but it's never overplayed. His big thing is the kind of speechless, come on, look into the camera. I just want to point out his physical comedy. It's great.
Oh, then yes, knight me, please. Oh my God, this is amazing. Winter is coming for Sir Ben Lysarm.
My favourite part is when Andy's British friend knights Andy and Ben gets in on it, who is speechless that he's becoming an actual knight, and afterwards literally looks at his hands to see if he's physically changed. It's fantastic stuff. Great writing all round. And I also love his love of calzones, the real boy of foods.
Pies are just sweet calzones, honey.
Cameo-wise, I love that Louis C.K. plays a cop that dates Leslie and tries to horn in from special guest star to regular, but sadly fails. Amy Poehler there is Job's wife from Arrested Development, the real-life husband and wife. Seal the deal. Job actually shows up as a bad date for Leslie as a sleazy MRI technician. He even fails a magic trick. In fantastic foreshadowing, he gives her an MRI and comments on her uterus, like, go triplets right off the bat. And she does.
You could go triplets right off the bat, Leslie. You got a big industrial-sized oven.
So we're done, right?
Also, Ron's love interest is Lucy Lawless. That's pretty cool. Also, Councilman Jam. Gonna get jammed up? Leslie's political opponent, who is a constant roadblock. When she goes to his house to try sort out a park deal, he's so amazing. He loves Japan, but is like proudly ignorant of its culture. I kind of really turned into a big fan in that episode.
Who's that, Michelle Wee?
It's not sexual, I'm just a really big fan of her game.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in that picture, she's wearing a bikini.
Yeah, thanks. Photoshopped it myself.
Fantastic.
Ron's actual wife plays his destructive siren ex-wife, Tammy, too. Every episode with his ex-wife's money.
Leslie, would you like to introduce the next segment?
Dan Castellaneta, Homer Simpson, is the smooth DJ presenter for Wamapoke County Public Radio. My favourite bit is, okay, new show coming up. It's jazz plus jazz equals jazz, where they play two jazz songs over one another.
Today we have a recording of Benny Goodman played over a separate recording of Miles Davis.
Research shows that our listeners love jazz.
By season 5, they're definitely big enough for cameos, so Leslie's crush, Joe Biden, has a scene. It's amazing. She's dumbstruck meeting him and simply moves in for a kiss and has to be held back. It's amazing.
Well, the reason you're here is, I'm told, you've done such a great job in your town and the state of Indiana. And I just want to say congratulations for your public service.
And I just want to say thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Season 6, you can kind of immediately tell the series is getting ready to end, as the actors are all becoming too busy. Andy leaves for a few episodes. He, kayfabe, kind of stays in London, whilst shoot-wise, Chris Pratt is filming Guardians of the Galaxy. So at the start of the season, Andy's gone, and like Star-Lord shows up. He's ripped and lost 60 pounds. He fobs it off by saying he stopped drinking beer, and that's it. When he gets married, he says he's the luckiest guy in the galaxy. I was like, in the series finale, actually, when he opens the door to trick-or-treaters, one of them is dressed like Star-Lord. Marked out. Season 7 is half the length of other seasons, 13 episodes. And there's a pervasive air of one last time, kind of sentimentality every episode. Even Leslie mentions it as a want, everyone in the same room at the same time. Donna sees Gary losing his wedding ring down the drain and says, "Oh, I miss this, and thanks for the trip down memory lane." So it just feels like it's, this is definitely, they know this is the final season, it's not going any further. Before I wrap up, I just want to shout out season 7's episode, Leslie and Ron. It's a bottle episode, which means that, basically two for the most part of it. Leslie and Ron, their bottle episode, where they hash out their hostility as they're locked in a room together. It shows the writing team flexing their muscle, as it's basically a two-hander, like Marooned in Red Dwarf or Fly in Breaking Bad, if you remember that one. Two of their strongest characters in a room talk it out for the entire episode. Brilliant stuff, which is what a bottle episode is. I think the funniest part in the entire series is the campaign rally in the ice rink. It's hilarious. They come out on the ice rink and they have red carpet, but it stops halfway towards the podium because they couldn't afford the whole thing. And so they kind of have to scoot. They have to try and make their way over the ice to the podium wearing regular shoes, trying not to fall. And the song they have, it starts and stops. Like, the comic timing in this is incredible. There's nothing like it in the entire series. Actually, in that same episode, the comeback kid, Ron and Leslie, are arrested in front of the Always Sunny building. Anyway, this ice rink thing, golden 90 seconds. Get on your feet.
No stairs. How do I get to the stage?
You ready, babe?
Yes. I'm ready.
Overall, definitely go watch it. A workplace sitcom that's character driven, it's funny, witty, clean, and creates some character archetypes. Big thumbs up. So let's leave you with the greatest cameo out of nowhere.
It looks like there are some tiny initials. JC?
President Jimmy Carter stole my guitar, but why?
I don't think it's Jimmy Carter, buddy.
The champ is here! All right, kids, is everybody having a great time? I know I am! John Cena in the house! John Cena, you're my hero!
Wait, you're Andy.
Yeah, I'm Andy!
From the information I got, I just assumed you'd be like 10 years old.
Thank you!
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, man, for bringing martial arts and music to all the children. Wait, what are you doing, man?
Gotcha.
Got me? What?
You got my cuffs. Wait, what the hell is this?
John Cena, you're a great inspiration, a true hero, and this is the greatest moment of my life. But you're going down.
Going down? What are you doing? Whoa!
You stole Johnny Karate's guitar.
I didn't steal his guitar, man. I'm just doing this as a favor.
You're going in the dunk tank, bud.
I don't want to go in the dunk tank. Is anybody in charge? A little help?
Finally, the Sexy Brutale, a very odd name indeed. It's an isometric indie puzzler from Cavalier Game Studios and Tequila Works, released a year ago, April 2017, on the PS4, Xbone and PC, and ported to the Switch in December. The gimmick is it's Groundhog Day at a hotel, the Sexy Brutale, where the staff are murderers and the guests are victims. All of the deaths happen over the same 12-hour period. You have a special stopwatch which resets come midnight, and you get ready to replay the day with your new knowledge. So you spend the day tracking the staff and guests, figure out how they're killed, and being a clever clogs by ultimately stopping it, like putting a blank shell into a shotgun. So the game kind of wants you to view and meddle, but stops you from intervening directly. Like if you're in the same room as a servant or a guest, their mask will float off and go to kill you. But actually dying takes a while. It's more of a deterrent, funneling you to go sneak around. Actually, I played this on the Steam link, where you can put on Steam on your PC, and that's connected either hardwire or over Wi-Fi. And then in my front room, I was able to kind of Chromecast it to the TV, and you can actually plug in your PS4 controller as well. So it was awesome being able to play it on the couch. As the story goes, you play as the preacher Lafcadio Boone, waking up at noon before Lucas's big yearly bash at his casino hotel. The bloody girl, a mysterious helpful spectre, gives you your mask and a pocket watch, saving you from mindlessly repeating this loop. She tasks you to save the victims from the twistingly specific events that lead to their demise. I love this setup in general, but I felt there was not nearly enough dialogue and exposition. The game is very careful to dole out information geared towards solving the puzzle, just enough to give you a feel for the character, but keeps the whole story a mystery until the big reveal at the end. Man, I was just thinking, man, this would be great as an RPG, because I want to know more, you know? It's just a shame because the victims are quite varied and interesting, but they're understated. My favourite was the opera singer Tequila, whose voice could hit the diamond note, as in she's able to break glass. Maybe it's because the game has no voice acting, but we actually get to hear her beautiful song before her ultimate demise, and I was kind of blown away by it. There's 8 murder scenarios to thwart. Each puzzle takes about an hour and change, but if you know what you're doing, you can actually beat the game in under 3 hours. You'll spend a lot of time studying your fancy Marauders map, which shows the whereabouts of everyone you've seen over the last 12 hours. After every success, you will gain a new ability, awesomely gimmicked by these special unique masks the victims wear. So you can hear footsteps outside a room or listen in on private conversations, that type of thing. And, you know, when you save Tequila, you can now shatter glass with your voice. The successive power-up kind of opens up the hotel piece by piece. The music, holy god, it goes between pensive puzzle solving and kind of Mardi Gras, New Orleans big band jazz, which is phenomenal. My only niggle is that it's jarring to go from one into the other, and sometimes the music overpowers the sound design. That's actually something that's really awesome. It makes the world so cohesive that every murder happens in real time over 12 hours and in the same large interconnected map. So you can hear events like a casino slot spin or a gunshot or electricity power out, which are part of murders yet to solve. So this stuff is already rattling around your head before the scenario is up. I'm only showing you footage from kind of earlier in the game because I don't want to spoil anything. The art style is very inviting and funky grim fandango. They make each section of the hotel look distinct with its own vibe, like Willow. She has pink and black goth stylings. The cartoony big heads bring attention to the mask, that's for ease of recognition, and interactive objects are lit with a casino chip ring on the floor. The invisible walls are hilariously obvious, like a door with foreboding mist underneath, and it's like, I can't touch that. Or straight up, something invisible is very cold and pushing you away. In general, like, I love the gimmick of the macabre cabaret hotel with ghosts and traps, but between withholding the plot and without someone to banter with, like in Professor Layton, he has Luke, the game ultimately rests on just how much you enjoy solving the puzzles. So, like, too much steak, not enough sizzle. But the game is very short, so there's not that much steak. So, sadly, my interest waned about halfway through and didn't pick up until the closing sequences, because it gets very plot heavy, and that's fantastic. But there's a lot of cool stuff in the game, like how the murders and solutions are very different. It was fun stalking out the players and getting that eureka moment where you figure out how to stop the murder, but it can get tiresome if you're not making progress quick enough. Like me, I'm an idiot. I would have liked some method of hand-holding or hint system, that would have been appreciated. Or if someone just told me, hey, the first couple of run-throughs, just stalk the murderers and victims to fill out your map, and you can form a plan after that. Overall, there's a ton of positives here. The premise, the look, the feel, the mechanics, the music. Just the dialogue isn't enough to chew on. Like, hey buddy, got something up here you can chew on. I just enjoyed it, but the general consensus is that it's brilliant, and I definitely recommend playing it. Well, that does it for episode 4 of OSW Playlist. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've any thoughts, feelings, comments about Parks and Recreation or the sexy Brutale, I'd love to hear your quotes about the Parks and Rec in the comments section below. So, you might be watching this as probably it's either the last day of April or early May you're watching this. We have WrestleMania 34 coming up next. It's my favourite episode with Matthew. It's going to be fantastic. Just got some new pixel art back and everything. And at the end of the month is going to be Survivor Series 92, the first episode of the new story arc. That's going to be amazeballs. Alrighty, so I gotta go back to work. Alright, rock on. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the funny pages. And remember, a winner is you.
Goodbye, Pawnee. I will miss you.
Guys! Angela! Could somebody get me out of here, please?
I'll help you, John Cena.
No!